Well, hopefully when springtime, if you're not busy with the new kid, that'll eat up a lot of your time.
Yeah. Yeah, take up some time.
Hopefully springtime will warm up and more people will come out. It was a lot of fun when I came out.
I'd like to. Well, we haven't done an actual event. Like we're just doing our Friday night meet, right? But I want to do some more Dash for Cash stuff because I have my version of a music class.
Okay.
So imagine I call it Traffic Jam.
Traffic Jam. Okay.
I think we had talked about it before.
I think briefly.
The idea is we'll stage 2 cars, and we'll put the mic maybe 15 feet out.
Oh, so kind of like Park and Pound.
Sort of, yeah. They play, They can have windows down, can't open the doors because you're in traffic, right? Mm-hmm. Traffic, it's like you're stuck on the interstate.
Gotcha.
You can play whatever you want, and we'll do a 30-second average.
Okay.
Right? And then the winner stays there. Next person comes up. We'll do an elimination, right? As we go to the next rounds, we move the mic further away. Because maybe you're louder 50 feet away than you are 20 feet away.
That could be fun.
I'd like to do it with an RTA, though. Because I'd like your mids and highs to be a part of it, too. I don't want it to just be
Well, then you'll have to do door open, then.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're just going to do it. You can put your windows down. It's like how far ahead of traffic are you annoying people? Whoever can annoy the furthest wins, right? So I think it should be doors up, closed, but you can put your windows down. If you got a sunroof, open that. Put all your windows down.
But what about the people that can't roll windows down?
God, do you drive it on the street?
I drive the Tahoe on the street.
You can't put the windows down?
No, they're broke. And the passenger side's about to be welded up.
Maybe they'll have to be an extreme class. No hold bars, you can be in that with doors open. And my thought would be that there will be guys maybe so loud in that the average person won't want to just be in there to open their doors maybe, right? You have a better chance in a closed door, windows down class. Okay. I don't know, we'll keep playing with the idea, but that was the next thing outside of Dash for Cash, which I think, talking with Adam, I can finally do total elimination parking lot.
Nice.
So I can run a 49.
And you're talking Adam Russell?
Yeah, Adam Russell's been a huge help. And then we just flipped the script. He hit me up about a 3D printer. I told him which one I would buy. He bought it.
And now he loves it.
And now he's just 3D printing all kinds of cool shit. He's making some cool car audio stuff. And so I'm really happy to see him doing well with his newly acquired 3D printer.
That's good.
But he helped me get onto the promoter circuit. So I have a Dash for Cash format on there.
That's cool.
And he's been helping me figure out how to do total elimination so that we can run 49.9 versus 39.9 or 29.9 versus 49.9 at the same time in the lanes. So we do, like I said, total elimination, who's the best in the parking lot, not just their class.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, we're going to I need to play with that a little more and do some testing, but that'll be that. And then the Traffic Jams format, I think, would be the best of both worlds,
That'll be fun.
We'll see.
I might come in once or twice, maybe, if I'm not super busy.
Try and get maybe you and Howard going. Zach's another one. Cannon, you know what I mean? Can all kind of run in those higher classes. Cannon was doing 29.9 base race though, and he
That's so hard in that CRV.
But he's figured it out. So he knows it now. He knows exactly what to do, and he was running it. And he was on point. Right. But yeah, the louder you are, the harder them lower classes get. And the way we do Dash for Cash is if you call someone out, you have to run the lower person's class. You can't call someone out in 49.9 that can't 49.9.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You got to kind of watch what you do because 19.9 in a 49.9 car is not fucking easy.
No, it's not.
Chris ran in a couple lower classes too. She did pretty good in her build.
She's pretty good with that knob.
Yeah.
When she's not nervous.
Yeah, that's how they test. So she knows okay, I'm just gonna go quarter knob, third knob, right? And they've done the testing at those points to know how they want to demo and shit. It's fucking crazy. I just turn the shit up. I'm all the knobs over and we just run.
Nice.
And then we do it with the hatch open.
That's dangerous.
It was so sad, man.
Yeah, because I remember when you sent the message, and I was like, oh.
There was 100 people behind the truck because I had the doors on. I just forgot the hatch was open, and then I could hear everybody's I was like, what happened? Oh, why is the bass not on? Oh shit.
It happens. Live and learn.
Yeah, it was a good one. But I think that stuff's cool. I'd like to try and see if we can make some connections with some of those kind of groups. Because like the like Islander guys that do the mini truck stuff out here, they've let me bring the truck out, doors wide open, play all day.
Nice.
They're cool with it. So I mean, getting involved maybe with some of their events, I think, you know,
it'd be fun. I mean, we'd have to just find who to talk to.
Yeah.
That's like a whole nother realm that I'm not in. Like, I've had people hit me up for Harley stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know shit about bikes, bro.
It was Watakine is the truck club that put on the last meet where I blew the sub.
Okay.
And Chris, I'm gonna kill his last name. It's like Tomiki.
Tohimiki or
maybe yeah, something like that.
Okay.
He runs it. He has a blue truck and the bed tilts.
That's cool.
His event, he was like, bro, invite everyone you can. Invite all the guys. Invite all the audio guys. Bring them in. Eventually, the site owner was kind of like, hey, like, you know, Manny's up there just demoing the shit out of his truck, and they were like, hey,
let me give you some 60s.
It's a little loud, but they were still pretty cool about it, and you know, it was a good time. But like some of these other, you know, guys, they're interested in the audio stuff. So I mean, I think taking advantage of that, because those people will support like the brand that shows up, right?
Right.
Their influence is what they see.
Right.
So getting out to that stuff and showing them that kind of equipment, I think, is beneficial. And it's a good time. They do.
Right.
God, they make food. And it's incredible.
They do?
Yeah, it's almost the only reason.
Why are we not going to more of these?
They've
Why are you holding out on me?
Because I'm trying to eat the food, man. But dude, they've got ribs and chicken wings and steak and like all kinds of different Islander food that's just phenomenal. And these ladies prepare it, and it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. That's the only reason to go, man. I'm telling you, you didn't get to play your shit. You don't just bring the truck. Like, fuck it. Just go and eat. And then there's all these lowriders and, like, these old school minis and, like, just cool shit. And you can see the detail, and it's just like what we do. They're just trying to show their shit off, right?
Right.
It's a good time. We went in the last club to a couple of them. It was cool.
We'll have to schedule that. Get it together.
Yeah. Is there anything new coming for Cast this year, like equipment wise?
Oh, I've got so much new stuff I'm working on right now.
Well, and right now you've got like the whole Down for Sound catalog on the site, right?
Yeah.
So like people can get that there.
Yeah, I'm a Down for Sound dealer. Like, I picked them up like 3-4 months ago. Before it was like a thing. Yeah. And so like I've kind of like given them input on how to fix some of the issues that we ran across, and now they're got their own dealer network now. But I was kind of like the first like real. It was kind of funny because like JP went to surf this year, and I didn't make it there Saturday because we were having issues with the truck that was towing the Tahoe down. And so he sees all the Kaz guys, and he's like, I've been seeing all these orders with Kaz. What is this? And apparently he knew my name and was talking to people about it and stuff, which I thought was cool. It would have been nice to meet him again. Yeah. Because the last time I met him was when I was in Vegas in, I think, 2019 or 2020. Okay. It was kind of like in the middle of COVID, so... Yeah. That a little weird. Little blur there. But yeah, I went down and worked at JY for like a week or whatever, and was building the subs for Sundown for JP, because that's what Travis does now. Sundown sends all the stuff there, and he builds them for JP, and they handle all that kind of stuff. So I kind of went in and taught them how to do what they need to do, and then I met JP, and I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, what's up? You know, totally different than how he is online. Sure. Totally chill.
I met him years ago at Spring Break Nationals, because me and Robin were trying to do a build for him. Because Tommy McKinney, the King of Bass, had just done his most recent build. Okay. And one of the amps wasn't hooked up, and like a lot of shit happened. It was a really bad deal, and he wanted to rebuild. So me and Robin were like at our peak, and we were trying to get that. So we got to meet him down there, and he was like just a cool guy, just a regular ass dude. Right. Like, we had all competed, right? And then everyone goes to this club at night called, like, Razzles in Daytona. And we all, you know, get drunk, hanging out, partying, celebrating, right? And he didn't drink, so it was, like, kind of weird because, like, we're all, like, making asses of ourselves, right? But he was super cool, respectful dude. He came out and heard my Blazer the next day in the parking lot and did a huge hair trick for somebody. It's online somewhere. It's super cool. And he ended up going with somebody else, which wasn't a big deal.
Right.
But it was cool just to have the opportunity and get to kind of throw the hat in the ring and, you know, be on that level with some of those other guys that were doing incredible builds at the time too. It was cool. He was a good guy. Yeah. And it's cool to see what he's built, because like back then none of this existed, right? There was no Down for Sound yet. He was just trying to build this loud truck. And I think he knew what he was doing, but like he wasn't like putting it out there. And it, you know,
right.
He did shit the way he did it. It worked.
Yeah. And
now the equipment, like solid ass equipment, good shit. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not appreciate that?
Well, I mean, if you're just a hater,
I guess you can be a hater, but it's like you're hating on like the foundation of some of car audio. Like, I'm not saying he created anything necessarily, but he generated the hype to keep that shit going.
He's definitely a part of the car audio history.
The evolution of it, yeah. Of it going down the path, you can't deny it.
Whether you like him or not, you at least have to respect him. Like,
I think so, yeah. I think that you do, because I don't think he's doing anything bad to anybody.
No, he's not.
He's not fucking people over or stealing. He's providing a service, doing extremely good service, I think, because of warranty stuff. He's really good about that shit. And, you know, good products, affordable prices. He's brought a bunch of brands together to be available.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing we liked about SSA. You can go there and buy all kinds of shit. They sold all kinds of other equipment on their site. It wasn't just their brand.
Yeah, they used to sell my brand.
Did they? Yeah. Oh yeah, because I've looked at specs for some of the stuff on their site because it's archived somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that there, but
well,
Aaron's a good dude. So.
Because I think that didn't Phi used to make SSA and then they pulled out. It's like with Crossfire. Phi used to make Crossfire and they like pulled out. They were like, y'all are gonna find someone else to make that shit. And I think that kind of maybe halted some stuff and made it hard for those guys. You know, obviously they gotta fucking structure. They gotta pivot. Yeah. Which probably isn't easy. I think it happened to a few people actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they stopped OEMing.
Well, in general. Just you gotta expand with your business, man, or that shit gets hard to control.
Yeah.
like we talked about, right? You gotta bring in people you can depend on and make shit happen. It's rough.
It's very rough.
All right, so when you competed, man, you said sound quality was kind of how you got in.
That's how I got in.
What was your first experience, first build? How did all that go for you?
First build. I've had so many. It's hard to remember the first one.
The first one you competed with, purpose-driven build.
I want to say it was a Dodge Neon, a 2009. It was like a brown beige. I had some Dub 3s in it, then Dub 6s, and then I had some Dub 7s, all the HDs, and I had Hertz Millies in the doors. Stuff, and then it came out with my brand, and then so it was like a Neo 8 and all that kind of stuff.
And is that the 8 you posted on Facebook recently holding? Mm-hmm. That was okay.
Yep, and that was the first Neo 8 in production. Nobody was making them.
Oh, okay. That's how I perceived the post, but I wasn't sure if I was just reading too much into it.
And so I made that sub because Sean was like, "Oh, nobody can make a Neo 8 because too much motor force and all that and blah blah blah." And I was just like, "Well, all right, I'm just gonna do it." And so I did, and I don't even know how many are left here in the States. I know a bunch went to Tahiti. There's maybe 1 or 2 in the East Coast, maybe 1 or in the South. I think there's 4 or 5 here left in Washington. Okay. They do not come up for sale very often. I've seen 1 in maybe 6 or 7 years.
Damn.
So usually if the person that has it. They aren't gonna sell it because it's a beautiful sub. Yeah. So. And that's what I competed with in SQ. I actually did fairly well in SQ. I was in Pro-Am, I think it was, because since I was in the industry, I had to be in a higher class. Sure. And then so with the Veloster stock head unit, I even went with stock doors, just threw in a processor and just did a bunch of tweaking and just went to town. And that's kind of how I started. And then, the loud guys here in the Pacific Northwest, Justin Yeo, Ben Atkins, you had John with his Astro van. Those guys that were super loud, and Jade, dude, she'd kick dudes' asses and they would just get so pissed, getting beat by a girl. And then you had Benjamin with like his Matrix, and then you had Mickey Dial, Phil, Howard, and just Tanner used to have a shop up in up north, like past Everett or whatever. So like I was just around all the loud guys, like the OGs. And Scott Scheffler was around then. Yeah, but like Ben's build was like the first one that kind of got me into SPL. I was just like, holy shit, because he had like a 90s, early 2000s like Ford Explorer. It was white. It's either DC or Crossfire. I can't remember, but it was just fucking like retarded because he was doing like 20 hertz, 25, like the low shit, like stuff we're doing now. He was doing then, but he was loud, like, and he's a super cool dude, and that's kind of what like progressed me.
Damn.
And then now it's just snowballed out of control.
What was your first SPL build?
My first SPL build. Like, well, I did kind of do some SPL with the Neon.
Because I want to talk about our first SPL build after this.
I'd say the Neon.
Yeah. So when we first got together, I had bought some of your equipment. We had built the 12s, right? I had my little setup in the SUV on the trauma amp,
and the
right?
Mazda.
Yeah, nothing big yet. And for whatever reason, you hit me up about building a box like 3 days before finals for a Honda Civic, a hatchback.
Oh.
Yeah, and you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna run these 4 subs. I've got power. I need someone to build a box. Will you build me a box for 4
DK.
12s?" Yeah, for the DK finals.
For the Honda Civic hatch.
And I was like, I can. Like, I don't think I was working a shit ton at the time. I had built a couple things that did well for people, right? So I don't know. For whatever reason, you hit me up and gave me some dimensions, and I built your box. Strayed a little bit from what you wanted design-wise, tuning-wise. Very close.
It was close.
I used a little less port area than what you wanted because I wasn't comfortable. I didn't know. Yeah, I hadn't done that yet. And a very minimal difference. Like 1/2 inch per cube. Like very small. Mm-hmm. And you came, and you and Chris came.
We picked it up.
And we put it in the car, and it like lifted, set it in the car, and it did not drop.
We had to finagle it.
Yes. We may have been off on a measurement. We may have anticipated the top and the bottom were the same, and there was an angle, and they weren't the same.
That was a fun last-minute build.
And, like, for me, I don't know anyone up here. I haven't lived here long, and I haven't been doing audio up here long where anyone knew me, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, so this guy owns a company. He's going to go compete. There's going to be a bunch of people there. And if this fails, I'm going to look so stupid, right? Like, this is going to be such a bad fail if it fails. And now I know it doesn't even fit in the car right. So, like, you're like, okay, I'm going to go put it in. I'll see you tomorrow at the show. Like, there was no time for anything.
No testing, no nothing.
And then finally that moment, and it's like, all right, Colton's pulling up, and, like, everyone has to crowd around. And I'm just like, fuck. Here we go. Let's just see what happens. And oh my God, when you turn, I mean, just the roof sucked in, the car came out at a 50, and it was just like, everybody was just like, holy shit. It was violent, because it's like stock car, right? It's
completely stock, bone stock.
Doors are coming off like this far.
Yep.
And it was incredible. It was awesome. Yep. And then it went to Dylan, and Dylan did he's doing like mid-50s in a
55
Suburban or some big ass
Suburban. Yeah, he's down right now, but he's another guy that I've been trying to. Come over. Let's have some fun. Let's do some stuff.
He's doing those numbers on AGMs.
I know.
It's crazy.
I'm like, come on, let's come over and I'll hook you up with some lithium, bro. Let's do some stuff. So we were kind of talking. He was out of work for a while.
Yeah, so. I know. He had some hard times.
Yeah, I tried to get him some work, but he's working now. Hopefully
Good deal.
He's back on his feet.
And the motor in the truck blew up.
Yeah, the motor blew up.
And then he lost work.
Yeah, so that's why he's
really shitty.
That's why he's been down. And I was like, dude, just get back on your feet and like.
He's got everything he needs, right? Like
right.
He just needs to get back in that moment. Yeah, exactly. And he will.
He will. I think he's
got like race cars and shit too.
Right,
like he knows what he's doing. He's a great welder from what I hear.
He's a fantastic welder.
He helped Cannon do a bit.
I need to get him on the Tahoe.
Yeah, Cannon said he did phenomenal work in his CRV.
He's a great welder. But yeah, that was a fun show at DK. Like, we didn't even like set the gains or anything. Like, we just threw it in. It was just like turned it on. And I think that's kind of like what started the hate, because we threw it in basically almost in the parking lot and just kicked ass.
Well, and then put it in another vehicle completely different from that, and it did great.
Yeah.
And it was like there was a lot of conversations about that box, and then it just kept getting louder. And it'd get louder, and then Dylan got louder and got louder and got louder, and everybody told him they had to change the box. It was like,
why?
But
it worked.
It's doing mid-50s.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
So. It was cool. It's a cool little build, man. There's been a lot of cool little builds up here.
Yeah.
A lot of band passes.
Yeah.
I don't think six cylinders weren't very popular back in the day. So, like, I guess, now there's a lot more people doing them than 10 years ago, but...
I kind of wish, like, we'd almost go back to, like, the forum days. Because I feel like a lot of stuff gets lost in Facebook.
It does. It's
and
very
people
hard
ask
to follow.
the same questions over and over. That's one thing I kind of miss about the forum days.
Yeah, because you could sticky.
You could sticky
like
it.
10 things, and you had to go through them before you could post, and there was order on forums.
And the search function.
I still go back and reference SMD and
I haven't been back on the forums in a long time.
I do searches, and that's the stuff that I hit. Is that I want that information again.
It was like Florida SPL, Calco, SMD, and then there was a RE one, Resonant something.
Yeah, we were big on SPL Basics, BASSX.
I don't think I was on that.
That was a cool forum.
I was on Florida SPL. I always used to go back and forth with that dude that brought out FLX audio or whatever.
I wonder who.
Back in the day, they were a green sub, and so I had the green sub with Phantom. So we we went back and forth. He failed, fucked over a bunch of people, and then I was still here.
That happened a lot, and I feel like I remember the Phantom Sounds name, because when you just re-released the 12s for a little while, like the PH12 or some shit.
Yes.
Which looks like a really awesome fucking sub, to be honest.
There's a lot of sub there for the money.
But like the logo and stuff looked really familiar, right? And like Florida SPL was my home. That's where I grew up. So like I know what's the lithium dude's name? Brad was on there. Mozdog 2487 shit on Florida SPL. I remember when he built that like giant
bass cannon
30 fucking basket speaker thing.
Yeah.
But like what I mean, having a good time, whatever. But I just remember him being on the forum and stuff. There was a lot of people that were just like,
well, Florida was kind of popping at the time.
That was like that. We were the loudest cars like in the country.
Yeah. And like everything was there. Like you had Crescendo, then you had like Tenny Alts, and you had Nate from Excessive, and then Candy Shop Alts at the time.
Yeah, and Addictive Audio.
Were they in Florida? I thought they were in California.
If they weren't in Florida, Florida was one of the biggest distributors through AMP or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Because I remember there was a guy down there that pushed them.
It was AMP. They were like the biggest pusher for like Addictive.
Yeah, so I think that was why the influence was so big in Florida. And they were very specific about who could sell their product. They protected their brand, their network.
Right.
They made cool shit, but it was like really fucking expensive, It's because you can't get it for a deal.
Right.
Everyone's locked in, so it was hard. But they made good shit until that what was the Fix, their 5K.
Yeah, it was like the Fix 5 or 0.5 or something.
That one didn't do so good. That kind of fucked up. They rushed it to get it done by a certain time, and
well, it was just kind of weird because that's what Matt used to run, was Addictive.
Matt who?
Connect. 2012, 2013. He owns Sight and Sound.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I've never been to Sight and Sound.
I've
been there 3 times.
Well, you gotta go and talk to Matt. Matt's
okay. Yeah, I'd love to, and I hear good things about the shop. I know they have DD and stuff in there. They have like good shit.
Right.
That's what I like going down there for. See all the stuff in his shop. But I don't know the guy personally.
He's a fantastic dude.
Yeah. No, he does finals for us.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I like him just for that because he does that.
No, he's another great dude. Like, I mean, I can't say anything bad about the dude. He's always supported the industry from when he was a competitor and like his shop. Like, he's a fantastic dude. Like, you have to go talk to him. That's
for sure. Yeah. No. Like, yeah. I'd like to meet him.
Just like, hey, Colton sent me. And just if he's busy, he's busy. But like, he's fun.
And I think every time I've been in there, even at finals, there's been someone in there he's been talking to about something in the shop, right? Trying to shop for something.
And Ron, one of his employees, has been there forever. He's a solid dude. He's an interesting character. He grows like hot peppers and stuff, which is cool. Like, that's his other hobby.
Hell yeah.
Like, he's a cool dude too.
Everyone so far has been pretty cool. Pretty cool up here. I mean, it's all been pretty good experiences for the most part.
Yeah.
Bullshit like you have anywhere else, but a lot of, I think, obviously there's like the in-person aspect versus the online aspect, right? Like, everyone's a little different online than when you're at the show. It's a lot calmer. And
yeah, I'm definitely different online. Like, online, I'm like almost robotic and more like direct. Like, some people hate it, some people like it, but it's like when I interact with a customer, I'm very like direct and not like friendly, and they either like it or they don't like it, and I'm like, well, I can be your buddy, or I can just tell you what you need to know and get you going, or we can sit there and have a conversation for 45 minutes. But what do you want?
Yeah, I mean, even when I started building the SUV, like, there were things you wanted me to do that I just didn't want to get into, like an alt and shit with that, because it was a, not supposed to be that SPL vehicle. And I mean, you were still down to help with whatever path I chose to go down. Just, you had the recommendations that would have been the right way to do it, which we'll do in the car. Right?
Yeah. But I mean, we went back and forth on your alt because it was like a pain in the ass. And
it is in a stupid spot. It's just not. And then the wiring and the having to bypass and shit.
Yeah, it just.
I knew we'd get to this point where that vehicle wouldn't be used.
I mean, you do what you did with it.
We'll get new things going. Maybe another time. Any other like hot topics we can kind of jump into? I mean, I think we've been talking to these people for quite a while, or they've been listening to us talk anyways.
I don't know. We've just been chilling and
just
talking.
Kind of running, right?
Right. So yeah, I'm working on the 3X V3 coming out. I'm working on the CSX V3 to come out, because those have both been out for a while. I'm discontinuing the CS6, so if you want a CS6, now would be the time to get it.
So what's going to be the entry level?
I'm just going to shy away from it.
Okay. So you'll start at what, like the 3X?
So we have the Tycoon, which is just below.
I wanted to get a pair of those. So yeah, I guess that'd be a good suitable.
It's like a 1500 watt driver, like, because not too many people are buying the CS6. And it doesn't make sense for me to keep making the CS6, even though that's the one that really started all this, so it kind of breaks my heart. But people just aren't buying it. Like, they're buying, like, 3X and CSX and the 5s, which last year everybody was buying the 3Xs, so I bought more 3Xs, and then I released the 5s, and that's what everybody bought, which I didn't think was going to happen because it's 140 pounds, and I'm like, guys, you realize you're going to need a gym membership to lift this woofer. Like, it's no joke. And so they're buying it versus the 3X, and like CSX V2 flew off the shelves.
Wow.
So like those two went, and then I've got a shit ton of 3X, and so then that's kind of how the Tycoon came about. And Josh ran the Tycoon, and so did what's his name? He's in Kelso. John Jenkins. He started out with that, and then he got some CSX V1s. So
he got one of mine. He got my V1. Nice. One of his that he acquired was mine.
I keep trying to tell him to wall that. I'm like, dude, just do 418s, wall it in the fourth. You'll be so happy. Like, just.
I mean, yeah, if that's an option, that's the way that I'd go.
He just needs to be kicked a little more, because he's like, oh, I want to do this a little bit longer. I'm like, no, just you've done your year. Let's go to the big boy stuff, and we'll struggle bust through this, and you know, we'll get. I did the same thing with Zach.
Yeah.
Because Zach started.
Shit's fucking loud.
He started out small, and I was like, "Look, this is where you're gonna start, and this is where it's gonna end. You might as well just go straight here." And he didn't want to listen, and he went through like 4 or 5 builds, and then he finally listened, and now he's just where he's at.
That shit's super loud.
It's gonna get louder.
I bet. But I've heard it once or twice, but like getting to hear it up close after getting on the team and shit, like, it's nasty.
Well, he made some changes a couple of shows ago.
Okay.
He had like one of his like LPF or something wasn't set right.
Oh damn.
And so he adjusted it, and he actually gained like 2 or 3 dB.
Holy shit.
Because something to do with like the frequencies he wasn't playing, and yeah.
Man.
So it got nastier, and he's like, "Dude, I'm so happy." And Cannon was the one who helped him. Cannon's like the little Energizer bunny that helps everybody. So, I mean, I can't say anything bad about him.
No, he's been cool. I've known Cannon for quite a while up here. He's been a good guy.
Yeah, we've gotten definitely closer this year. So he's been a great guy to have.
Yeah.
So what made you want to start doing this whole podcasting thing?
Man, I don't know, like, getting back into car audio up here in Washington wasn't really to win. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't to go out there and necessarily own the lanes. It was to try and do things to get people interested that aren't in car audio now. Like the meet. We have just kids, right? Come up and every week they're doing a little more, or they're asking about equipment because they want to buy something, or they've bought something and they want to know how it works. And I think that we need like more of that. So, you know what I mean? It was just kind of getting stuff out there, and this is a great way for people to sit down and like be able to hear stories, like, right? Like fucking shit up, blowing subs, rebuilding, how to start things, how to, you know, just I want people to see the other side of it where like it's hard and people fail. And you know what I mean? How people started and where they are now, and like realizing that it takes, you know, sometimes it takes years to achieve a goal. It's not always going to be overnight or the next weekend it does this. And, you know, just kind of, like I said, showing people the hobby as a whole as opposed to just what we're doing at events and shows. And then I want to cover some stuff. I'd like to get footage at shows this season when everything gets back going and have some of that. You know, we'll pop up our virtual TV and be able to show some footage.
That'd be cool.
We get more consistent guests and stuff talking about things that, you know, we see in the industry that are cool, right? Things that we see people do that are cool, events that were cool. You know, did you just see so-and-so do this on Facebook type shit? You know, just kind of getting awareness and just having like a general conversation, and I want people to experience that and sit there and go, oh shit, yeah, I remember stuff like that, right? So, I mean, in the future, I want to have topics, you know, first fail, first system. You know, I remember putting fucking house speakers in the back of my friend's mom's car to go drive around, and you know what I mean? Like, it was awesome. Like, car audio is something you grow with. Like, because when I got into it, we didn't know anything, and everything was cool, and everything was loud, and we didn't care, and but then you start to, like, if you pursue it more, you learn how things work and how to manipulate things, and then the meter comes into play, and, you know, there's that best of both worlds, or do you just want to achieve a goal and not care about daily playability, and, you know what I mean? Just, that's shit that people in, like, fucking Iowa may not have exposure to, I don't know. So if they get to see this video and it sparks interest and they start doing more research, or, you know, that would be incredible. That would be the goal.
I think Iowa's fairly loud.
What's up?
I think
they might be. I just picked a state that, like, I don't know. I would imagine they probably are loud.
That's where Travis was from JY.
Really?
Yep.
And then, like, I get to learn some shit, you know, talking with people and stuff like that. You know, like I said, you're always learning in this hobby. But like, if anyone gets, even guys that used to do it, if they watch this and get turned back on, that's super cool.
Right.
That's the goal. You know what I mean? And I got into video work and editing, and now I do it for a job. So it's been a really weird couple of years, but like, So it's like a hobby. It's an interest, right? So
right.
I want to be able to do this, and then in a year look back at the first 2 episodes and be like, "Oh, this is horrible. I can't believe it." Look at what it's become. And I'd like to highlight brands. You know, people may not know about Cast. They may stumble upon this, get to, you know, see this interaction, see an interaction with Chris and with Chet and with Mikey and anyone else we can get to come on, and even people that aren't on the team, you know, that are in the area that I can get on once I figure out how to do like calls and shit. If we can get with some other people in the industry or competitors or just people in general that we can have on and talk, and like I said, expand the knowledge across the YouTube platform or wherever this goes.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some people that I can get on that are like East Coast. That would be a good, maybe some West Coast. I know Sam is kind of interested. He's kind of waiting to see how this pans out before he
Oh, for sure. I think a lot of people are, yeah.
Which I can get. That's kind of the same feedback that I've gotten, so I think this is going well. I mean,
and we've talked a lot about it, so I mean, I like the input, and I know you've had some good ideas, and with some of the connections you have, you know, we'll see if we can make this a bigger and better entity for people. And if you guys have feedback, post it in the comments. I'd like to know what people think, you know. We'll tailor this around the people that watch it and what they want to see.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's kind of how it's going to go. If you have ideas for topics, episodes, post it. Hit me up. Let me know. However you want to convey it to me. I'm gonna need to get another drink, so I think we're gonna cut this here, and we'll see what the footage is like, and we'll go from there. But this is episode 1. If you guys liked it, let me know. If not, keep it to yourself. Not a big deal. Colton, I appreciate you taking the time to come by.
Anytime.
I appreciate the gear, so we can kind of get the car built. I'm sure we'll have you back on again as the season goes.
Right.
And we'll try and celebrate some shit. Stay tuned. Maybe there'll be, I don't know, 500 person giveaway, or we'll try and do some cool shit. Until next time, keep it easy. Try to keep them coils in the cones, and we'll see you next time.